Hey folks, welcome to Serious JG's Let's Play of Romance of the Three Kingdoms 13. We're gonna go finally into the main mode of the game today. Plenty left to do in hero mode. I'll probably come back to hero mode later. In my off-screening, I've actually won 2 more hero mode engagements where I just felt like playing around and not recording. But we're actually ready to get into the main game. So I want to show you, first of all, some very minor little changes. We now have 54 original officers, because I added one, somebody who came in a little late and made me aware that they had wanted a character, and I kind of slipped them in, and I'm blanking on what their character name is. Let me check real quick my little spreadsheet and see. Oh, Maxwell Damage. Yeah, so I went ahead and made Maxwell Damage his character. That brought us up to 54. I had this strange brief compunction to make a 55th character from, you know, one point it's like, yeah, I'll just make a character for Brant Rage because it amuses me that their username and their character were both going to be references to my LPs of the past. And then, because that's a nice even number, 55. But then it could be 55 isn't an even number at all. 55 is an odd number, so whatever, I didn't do it. Sorry, Brant Rage. But it is, yeah, I'm following the rules here and not actually creating any more characters. Somebody pointed out they were disappointed that I changed JG Mystery and didn't showcase how his stats have changed. Thought about, since he'll be the main character of the LP, cheating, giving myself a more powerful character than the other created characters. Didn't end up doing that. I did take points, a few points out of governance, a little bit away from intelligence, but mostly out of war, to give him mediocre leadership, so that I can actually participate in battle. And I did another round of off-screening with JG Mystery before recording, and I found out that the biggest issue is that when traveling between cities, he will occasionally be accosted by bandits, and I just have to give them money. I don't think you can be killed by bandits in this game, but you can. They'll take away all of your money if you fight them in a duel and lose. And with a war score of 5, yeah, JG Mystery is basically like, he's like a zany character with like a goofy, I'm trying to think, he's like that Jerky Boys character with like Sal Rosenberg or whatever. I mean, he's like this, you know, stereotypical zany guy who is physically inept. But he's really, really smart, and he's not bad at getting things done, and he's not even bad at commanding troops. He just sucks at, you know, not tripping over his own 2 feet, apparently. And I took away a few points in, like, training patrol. Like, I took all of his, like, domestic skills and took just 1 out of each so that I could put it into strategy, which means that when he's leading troops in the field, he has some ability to potentially evade attacks. Otherwise, he's exactly the same. And I did not change his expertise away from spy work, even though I thought about it, because spy work, I have come across very few no circumstances really where it works. But I liked the idea. What am I doing here? Oh, I'm actually, never mind. I had a little weird visual thing happening that you guys will not have seen. But yeah, spy work doesn't work very often, but it's more interesting to me than the other expertises, which are all things that would have a invisible positive effect. And it's like, well, at least with spy work, from an LP perspective, we might be able to do some things that we couldn't do otherwise, and they might be interesting. So what we're going to do is start our scenario, and then I'm going to load, because the annoying thing is, you'll see when we start a scenario, is you have to manually place all the created officers. And you have to do that every time. And that's kind of annoying. Although maybe I'm wrong, and it will remember where I put them last time I did this. But we are going to do 198 AD January campaign against Lu Bu. The unmatched champion, Lu Bu, brings great confusion to the land. Seizing the opportunity, he revolted against Cao Cao, was defeated and sought help from Liu Bei. Yet he betrayed Liu Bei too, stealing away his lands and leaving Liu Bei with no choice but to seek help from Cao Cao. Thereafter he allied with Yuan Shu, proclaimed himself the emperor, and made clear his stance against Cao Cao. The maelstrom of the war is only about to grow. Well, we'll see about that. We will allow original officers to appear. You can select and unselect all. What I did off-screen in the load we're about to open up is I put in all the created characters, not just the ones I created. Because somehow the game gives you a bunch of created characters, and you will see what I mean in a moment. So the last one should be coming up shortly. Maxwell damage. Yeah, Yue Yi, Bai Kui, Kong Hu. These guys are all created characters that the computer, they're just programmed into the game. You unlock them by having save data from other Kawaii games or whatever. But they're Guan Yi Yu. I mean, they're not real dudes. Like, I can't read their biographies, but they're like historical figures. They're people from like different parts of Chinese history who don't belong in the Three Kingdoms era. And they tend to have, like, this guy's got really high war stats. He's probably some hero from history. This guy's got really high intelligence and governance stats. So they're pretty powerful characters by and large. There's probably one or two like really famous guys with horrible stats, I'm sure. But if we have to load our game, they will be in the LP. And I kind of didn't mean for that to happen, but the load status I have throws them in. And that's like 89, that's like 45 freaking characters that I didn't mean to go there that are just going to get chucked in. But if I don't position the officers, they're all going to be random. So we could just move ahead, and then I could go to original officer, and yeah, it randomized us. So what we're going to do is I will position just JG Mystery, and I'll position him in the city I usually put him in. And I will play as him, and we're going to play on the defaults. So it's actually low difficulty is the default. Expansion and troop recovery is normal. Other officers besides the main character can grow, and you grow fairly quickly. Yeah, easy guide is on. Strategy display is standard. Auto saving is not happening at all, so we need to remember to save periodically. And the voices are in Chinese. So we treat females as officers. Don't treat them like a woman. Don't treat them like a man. Don't treat them like, don't treat them just like who they am. And we're ready to start. And what we'll do is we'll just watch the intro, and then we'll load, and we'll be in a game where all the created officers were placed where they asked me to place them. Anybody who gave me a choice, I put you with whatever the first thing you mentioned was. And if you said something like, hey, if you're worried Cao Cao has too many guys, you can move me away from his force into your force. If you gave it to me as like an option like that, I didn't do it. So that whole, there might be exceptions, but basically if you said, I want to work for Cao Cao, and then I did that follow-up video and you changed your mind and said, if you'd like me to move, I will, I didn't move you. Anyway. Let's get on with the adventure here. Though Lu Bu stole Puyang from under Cao Cao's nose, it was quickly taken back from him. Cao Cao then went on to conquer the Yu province, with help from Jun Yu, as we saw. Lu Bu then sought the help of Liu Bei in Zhu province before deceiving him and stealing his castle. This led Liu Bei to seek help from Cao Cao. And everyone shifted around some more. Cao Cao and Liu Bei formed an army to slay Lu Bu. To resist them, Lu Bu allied with Yuan Shu, who had vowed vengeance on Cao Cao. As he allied with Lu Bu, Yuan Shu went on to announce his ascension to the throne after receiving the imperial seal from Sun Ce. Naturally, the other lords strongly resisted. Sun Ce publicly repudiated the act and announced cutting all ties with Yuan Shu, which was convenient for Sun Ce. Yuan Shu is in the way of his natural expansion. He gave Yuan Shu the imperial seal to get the troops he used to found his country, but at the same time, being in a political debt to Yuan Shu would make it difficult to deal with him, until Yuan Shu declared himself emperor, which gave him a great excuse to break ties. And so, chaos and confusion ran across the central plains, with Lu Bu at its center. Lu Bu's army council was held at GIP. Allow me to report on the results. The council has determined that Lu Bu's army assignment is strong military. So it's a difficult assignment because basically Lu Bu wants us to train cavalry through the roof. Xiao Pei's council was held at GIP. Allow me to report on the results. The council has determined GIP's assignment is strong military. And Zhang Liao, in order to meet Lu Bu's expectations for the force, is having his city concentrate on building a force proficiency. Will you not hire Maxwell Damage into our army? Maxwell Damage is apparently a... in this reality, he is a free officer floating around in our city, or in Langye. So I've been sent to go hire him. When we come back from loading our game, Maxwell Damage will already be part of whatever force he has to be part of. I don't remember off the top of my head. So I will say, leave it to me. I shall bring their talents to our army. Pardon me. Orders have been issued to you, so fulfilling those orders should become your first goal. Completing missions and earning merit will raise your rank. Eventually, you may even be granted such positions as governor or viceroy. Ooh. Suppose I could be Grand Vizier, then I could betray Lu Bu. Lu Bu will only conquer the nation if we do our part to aid. Let us work hard for the land and the people. So we try visiting Maxwell Damage to do our hire, but what if instead of visiting Maxwell Damage, what if instead we were to load this game I was playing a couple of days ago? GG Mystery. Their talent for schemes and strategy of victory not only in battle but in politics as well. Oh, I forgot to mention something up front, folks. I'm going to be out of town on vacation overseas for about a week. And my plan is to dump like a week's worth of RTK, to make it all public the day that I'm leaving. So when you have your mailbox explode, before you get too excited, the reason I'm blowing up your inbox with RTK is because I don't know that I will be able to get on the internet for the next week. Probably I'll be fine, actually. I'm sure that I'll have some opportunities to get on the internet, but I certainly won't have the ability to record anything or to upload stuff. So I'm just trying to leave some stuff out there. It's like a much smaller scale version of when I recorded all that Fallout New Vegas before going to Afghanistan. Anyway, so that is why, as you are watching this first video, if you're watching it as it first went up, you've got a whole bunch of RTK in your inbox, and I hope you're happy to see it. But try to make it last, because you won't have any more for a week. Anyway, so everything went exactly the same, except that we were asked to visit Zhuoji and hire that person. Let's take a look at our own force. The governor of our force is Lu Bu, and there are currently no other officers who have been assigned ranks. Well, no, that's not true. Zhang Liao is the gatekeeper, Gao Shun is the guard, Ho Cheng is lieutenant, Chen Gui is administrator, Chen Gong is treasury officer, Chen Dang is armory officer. And these other titles have not been given because none of the created officers who might be in this force have any deeds. We all start at deeds of 0. We see we're located up here. This is Lu Bu territory. I don't know why it's got... Oh, it's blue because of this particular map. But we are nestled between our ally Yuan Shao, but we have Cao Cao and Liu Bei next to each other, both opposed to us. We have our 3 cities of Langye, Jiapi, and Xiaopei, whatever it's called. Xiaopei is where Zhang Liao is currently the mayor of the Little People Nation. He is, and here's the thing. I guess I should have showcased how many officers are in each city, but the number of officers here is significantly higher than it would have been before. And our officers starting off, Cheng Gong, who you may know from Dynasty Warriors 8 Complete Edition. He's also the guy who left Cao Cao's force after Cao Cao murdered a family in his presence. Zhang Bao. How do I... I'm trying to go down one and actually change the portraits. Oh well. We have Cheng Gong. It doesn't... Okay, it is going to let me... No, it won't let me... It won't change the portraits unless I go down one. Zhang Ba is here. Xiao Jing is here. He's famous for having shot out Jihaodun's eye. Fang Jiao, our first created officer, is here. Their talent for schemes and strategy found victory not only in battle, but in politics as well. Kalda Kaida is with us. Displayed remarkable talents at defeating enemy officers with cunning tactics. Lita's grandma is here. Rin Satori is here. Shaman C is here on Lu Bu's force. Sun Da is with us. Lu Bu himself is here. Among men, Lu Bu, among horses, red hair. Ho Chang is here. He is an actual historical guy. Wei Zhu, Song Jian. He joined Hao Chang and Wei Zheng and turned to Cao Cao after witnessing Ho Chen get beaten for trivial offense. Jiao Chan is here. Ling Lu, back to the created officers now with Ling Lu. Lu Lingqi, the fictitious daughter of Lu Bu, and one of the side objectives of our Let's Play is for JG Mystery to be married to Lu Lingqi. Lu Duo Wuya, whose name I'm probably mispronouncing, is a created officer who has joined us. Maxwell Damage, created officer who has joined us, and it appears was randomly placed in the city anyway because I was asked to hire him last time. The One Shogun is here, so gifted in battles and tactics that their enemies cowered in fear. Which is weird because he has a fairly even across the board build. Ping Guo is here. Storm Andrew is with us. The Zax. Wan Long is with us, and he looks almost like I was almost taken in thinking he's a real officer, but he's created officer. Zhang Liao is here, dwarfing almost all of the created officers with his skills. Zhang Liao, it's not unreasonable that you're not as good as Zhang Liao. He was one of the giants of the novel. Chen Gui, father of Cheng Dang, his loyalty guided him to plot with Cao Cao and betray Lu Bu. So keep an eye out for this guy. Chen Qin, a minister of Wei. But for right now, he's with us. Gao Shun is here. He faced his execution bravely without making a single complaint. He was one of the more badass guys in Lu Bu's force. Chen Dang joined Liu Bei when Liu Bei received Zhu from Chao Quang. When Liu Bei suffered a great loss at Cao Cao, he surrendered and attained the rank of prefect. Fall Jack Shores is here along with Falger. Bat John is here. JG Mystery is here, of course, near the bottom of this whole thing. Uncle Draki is here. With his improved tactics, he now has an actual aptitude, or what is it? I gave him a expertise, I guess. Vulture Bean and Vulture Bobo are here, as well as Yun Jiba. One officer who is not with us is, I'm going to get the name wrong unless I look it up. Yang Jiao was not here. And Shoot to Maim 88, I thought about changing your birth year. I actually did change the birth years for Vulture Bean and Vulture Bobo. A couple of characters, I couldn't place them because they were going to be too young when the scenario started. And your character was one of them. I left him alone as an experiment because he was going to come of age like within 2 years of the scenario beginning. And I was having a hard time telling if the game took when I told them where I wanted them to appear. But sure enough, within a few years of the LP, you will appear as a free officer. And even though you said you wanted to work for Lu Bu's force, I can't assign you to Lu Bu's force. We'll just have to try to hire you when you pop up. But you should pop up in one of Lu Bu's cities. Same goes for Vulture Hazel will pop up later in the LP, significantly later. And there was one other character who's, I don't remember your character name. Might have been one of the computer-created characters. But there is a character who will show up after this whole thing starts. Now we'll take a look at JG Mystery's chart here. This is showing like the world. JG Mystery has... There are a couple of characters who had affinity with JG Mystery, but since JG Mystery has a sworn brotherhood with Bobo, and Bobo is married to Bean, this is what JG Mystery's character chart looks like now. I thought I had I guess my only affinity was Sworn Brother. So it's a little weird. I'd be hard-pressed to actually find the other characters I'm interested in, but I am wondering a little bit where... There will be characters who are paired up. I've got to try to find... Falger and Fall Jacksaws. But the problem is all the created characters are like rinky-dink, unimportant people on the global scale. None of you have any deeds. so none of you show up as big floating heads that are going to be really easy to notice. So I suppose if I went to City Officer, Folger, I'm not sure if I have a way to search my bond with him. No, you can see that he's married to Fall Jaxors, but that's all you can see. So anyway, we got a lot of people in our force, and with 13 officers here, 14 officers here, and 9 officers here, we've got more officers. We've got probably fewer officers overall than Cao Cao, but it's actually pretty close. We've got a lot more than Liu Bei has. And then when you get down to a force like Yuan Shu, 8 officers in one city, 8 officers in another, we actually have more officers than our ally Yuan Shu has. So that's the big problem you have when you start with Lu Bu, is that he's got 3 cities, but not enough officers really to go between them. So they all kind of grow slowly and get overwhelmed by Cao Cao. But as you can see, we've already got... our prosperity is low. Some of the hero modes that I've done that I didn't record, like especially the Sun Xuan one, really teaches you a lot about how to grow your cities. So I need to find out where this Zhuoji character is, because I believe he's one of the created officers that I didn't personally create. He's in GFP, which is not where we are right now. So I will need to leave the city to hire him. And I will need to go to the capital of Lu Bu, Land USA, to try to hire this guy. And after I hire him... Oh, isn't that... Excuse me. What a strange coincidence. You know, this area is known for ... I conversed for a time with Chen Kun, deepening our connection. He gave me some delicious egg rolls that have been designed to look like they are made of bamboo. Here's on a plate. I'm wondering... I need to, as quickly as possible, forge a connection with Lu Lingqi. Because the faster we expand, the harder it's going to be for me to find opportunities to hang around with Lu Lingqi, actually. Oh, I don't want to investigate. No. I want to visit Zhuoji. Pleased to meet you. I am JG Mystery of Xiaopei. Usually I refuse to meet people since I come from another time in Chinese history, but you are a rare breed. What have you come for? I want to hire you, buddy. Zhuoji will be persuaded to join, but it will take at most 10 days, so I wish you continue. Yes. Will you serve Lu Bu and lend us your strength? I've been waiting to hear that. I would be delighted to join you. Well, apparently it did not take 10 days. It just happened immediately, so that's pretty cool. Now, I've got 600 gold. Can I buy a treasure? Can I buy a little gift to give to Lu Lingqi? I can buy some bamboo slips. You have a keen eye for quality. Did your mystery come again soon? Now, as someone with 0 in like a 5 out of 100 in war and no duel skills, it's not really a good idea for me to carry lots of cash around anyway. I don't think bandits will ever take your treasure, but they will take your monies. But we want to meet Lu Lingqi. Look who it is. What have you come for today? I want to get started early on buttering you up. Here are some bamboo slips on which I have written seditious love songs. If you don't mind, I would like to present you this bamboo slips. I will cherish it. So Lu Lingqi is a greedy type, so she is affected strongly by treasure. The problem is that the only type of treasure she is listed as accepting is armor. Now, JG, you seem to say, you just gave her bamboo slips. Clearly that's not armor. Yes. She will take any kind of treasure to build rapport until you form a bond. And once you have a bond, bonds go through 4 different levels. And the bond level 1 is just friendship. Then you get higher and higher. Bond level 4 between 2 characters of the same gender is sibling oath. Bond 4 between 2 characters of opposite genders is marriage in this game. So once I get up to the point where she is at bond level 1 and I'm trying to advance from bond 1 to bond 2, from that point on she will only accept... Now it says armor. Actually that means weapons and armor. She will no longer accept what I just gave her there, I believe, was considered a treasure. It might have been considered a tome. And she won't take alcohol, although that is because her character age is only 15. So when she reaches like 21, the game might allow me to give her alcohol. I'm not sure. Either way, can't get her all drunk, and that's not going to be an option. You command more armies based on your rank, makes yourself known to lead vast armies. And cajoling with her is a bad idea. That is the command you use to try to convince her to defect against her own force. And her force is commanded by her father, so that's not going to work. So we quickly formed a little bit of a bond with Lu Lingqi. It's going to take a lot of it's not too bad if you're in the same city as an officer, because you can just help them out with like tasks. But for us, we might be scrapping every copper we can to buy gifts for Lu Lingqi for a while. But for now, we will return to the tender embrace of Zhang Liao, having accomplished our mission and earned some deeds for Lu Bu's force. So we will complete our mission. I bring good tidings. The mission is completed successfully. Good work. I'm proud of you. JG's merit has become 521, plus 521, 470 more until the next rank. And now, I believe I can recommend a mission. So let's save our game. I'll save it over this somewhat more advanced slot here. And when we come back next time, folks, depending on how you are going to do it, for me, I'm going to record a week's worth of videos and make them all public on the same day. So you can just breakneck speed go into the next video and then figure out what to do with yourself later this week when you've used up all your JG Mystery action. Or you can put it off to tomorrow. But either way, next time, JG Mystery will be having his first ever self-assigned task where he proposes something to his Lord Zhang Liao, and we see if Zhang Liao is going to like it or tell us to shut up and start farming. See you guys next time.